Is public speaking is a learnable skill or is a natural talent? Or it's blend of both? Don't get hurried. We have 4 seconds. You have to judge. Your answer is just click away. 18, 19, 20. Let me share the results with you. We've spent a few minutes on this. Take the mental note. 52% people said blend of both. 43% people said learnable skill, and 6% people said languages. As a student of communication, when I realized that, I really got surprised. Few weeks ago, I used to ask the same question, but only two options. One, public speaking is natural talent or learnable skill. And most of the time, around 5 to 6% people used to say, Praveen, it's a natural skill. And around 90 to 95% people used to say, it's a learnable skill. Listen to this very carefully. And then I thought, no, there's one option. I think we should add one more option in the question. And the third option I have in here is whether it's a blend of both. You know what happened, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? And it has been happening since the last few weeks now. Every time, this 90-95% people who used to say learnable skills got divided into two. Almost 50-50%. Today also it has happened. Almost 40 to 45% people said, Praveen, it's a learnable skill. And around 50% people said it's a blend of both. Understand this very quickly. If you understand this, you will understand something very critical in public speaking. Natural talent, if you think, I will talk to you about this through via slides. But if you think it's a learnable skill, congratulations, your perspective towards public speaking is matching with lots of people who are effectively speaking on the stage. But if you think blend of both, I'm not surprised because even few years ago, I used to think it's a blend of both, but it's a very dangerous state. You know why? Because if you think it's a blend of both natural talent and learnable skill, if you're giving a presentation, and if your presentation has gone well, then you will feel, yes, it's a learnable skill. Yeah, I've learned it. I've done my practice. And in case if your presentation has not gone well, then you will feel, it's a natural talent I don't have. This is not the right way to approach any skill. Select one. Blend of both is a very dangerous if you want to become a student of public speaking. Let me speak to those people who believe it's a natural talent and who believe there's a blend of both. And even those people who believe that it's a learnable skill to strengthen your belief. Listen to this incident quickly. Then we'll go on foundational learning number 3. Then we will enter into 4-step system. But if you understand this foundational learning, your ability to extract maximum benefits from the 4-step system is very high. I was speaking here, director. This band came on the stage, and this band, very famous band, good Instagram following. And nowadays, these modern performers, they try to interact with the audience first. They try to speak, and then they perform. And I could notice, I was still sitting in the audience, I could notice, when they were speaking, they were not at all confident. Body language was poor, stumbling over the words. But suddenly when they started singing, oh my God, they were completely different people. Why? The answer to this why is very simple. Singing is a skill, and when you learn one skill, and whenever you do perform that skill, execute that skill in front of public, you're confident. Speaking is a skill. And if you have not learned that skill, and if you try to perform, you try to execute something which you have not learned in front of public. Remember the word public, very important. No one on the planet can do public speaking without public. So you're standing in front of public and you're trying to do something which you have not learned in an organized way. It's very obvious. It's very obvious to feel nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, many people, they don't learn this skill. They feel that just because they have good content, they can grow in their life, they can speak effectively. I would like to tell you, many of us, a few of us, we have this approach towards certain skills. Example, when you see a good cricketer, born cricketer. Or when you see a good singer, wow, Saraswati has given you a very good voice. Or when you see a good dancer, natural, flexible body. Or when you see a good speaker, you're a born speaker. Sachin Tendulkar said in one of his interviews, He said, you know what? He said, when you say, I'm a born cricketer, it's a very sophisticated way of insulting my hard work. When you say born singer, we should see that how much riyaz they are doing. Or when you say born dancer, we should see that how they are going in the gym and twisting their body, pouring sweat on the floor. And when you see born speakers, you should see that how much amount of time, money, energy, resources people are spending just to ensure that they speak effectively in front of people. So all those people who believe in this, I would like to say only one thing. Only babies are born on this planet. Rest everything. We have to decide and learn. If you are among those people who have decided that, yes, Praveen, I want to speak effectively in front of people no matter what they think about me, I'm honest, I will work hard on my content, on my techniques and skills, then no matter, irrespective of my background, irrespective of everything, I will go on the stage and speak effectively in front of people. That's a learnable skill, and I will learn it. If you agree with this, just type in the chat box that yes, Praveen, we all born as babies, and we all will learn. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be that person who believes it's just a natural skill. If it is a natural skill, then how you will learn, sir? If it is a natural skill, then how you will learn, madam? Don't do that mistake, because in the last 18 years of my career, I have seen lots of careers going stagnant because they are not able to speak effectively in front of people. Foundational learning number 3. And if you understand this learning, you will understand the science behind, the psychology behind public speaking. For that, are we good on time? Yes, we are good on time. All right, let me quickly ask this question to you, especially if you are from India, and even if you are from Dubai or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh or neighboring countries. I used to ask, let me take you away from public speaking so you can understand public speaking and the psychology of public speaking. Understand, you cannot do public speaking without public. It's not possible. Impossible. You can't do that. Understand the word. If you understand this, it will really help you whenever you stand in front of people. I used to ask my mama when I was a child. You might have asked this question. I used to ask my mama that, Mama, why you give tea in this cup, which are not expensive, this cup, which are very cheap, lightweight. And we know there is one cup on the top, which is boxed, well packed, different color, different texture. Even if we take a one sip from that cup, I feel different. Why we don't serve? Why you don't serve tea in that cup? Why you serve tea every day in this cup? Let me ask this to you. I don't want to live on the illusion that this is only my question when I was a child. Did you ask this question to your mother, or your wife is still doing that with you? If yes, type yes. If no, click no. So just wait for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not very surprised. Around 67% people said, yeah, we have heard something like this. And 33% people said, no. Maybe you might be fortunate people, but this is a story of every average family. And the answer my mama used to give is this. Which your mama also gave. That is only for guests. Only for guests. What do you mean by that? It means, since childhood, we have been hardwired to show best image in front of public. Whenever we are in front of people, son, I am taking you to my friend's home, make sure you behave well. Daughter, guests are coming, make sure you behave well. We have been told since childhood that whenever you are in front of public, you have to show your best image. The reason why people struggle in public speaking, because speaking is a skill, organizing your thoughts and producing your thoughts in a given time to achieve some objective. That's the skill. And people try to execute that skill in front of public without learning that skill. And it's not possible to do anything in front of public without learning. Forget speaking. Can dance in front of public without learning how to dance. Can sing without losing even a single note if you have not learned singing. Then why do you expect from yourself that you will go on the stage and you speak effectively in front of people without learning that skill, ladies and gentlemen? That's the reason. Within my capacity, I try to have maximum number of people in this live webinar. So you can at least understand this. It's a skill which we have to learn, and if it is a skill, there has to be a system. There has to be a technique. There has to be a technique. One system is 4-step stage communication method. 4-step system of communicating on the stage. If you learn this system, you will become more composed, natural on the stage. Natural. If you're excited, you're sounding excited. If you're nervous, you're sounding nervous. But natural on the stage. I have my own style, you have your own style of speaking. Let's start with this 4-step system. We'll start with step number 1. Each step, we will understand the objective and the techniques to achieve that objective. This is exactly you should do when you are approaching the stage tomorrow. And when I say stage, I'm not talking about that elevated platform, even in the conference room. Step number 1. Let me use this simple incident. If I explain this, share this incident, you will say, okay, Praveen, this is all, this is step number 1, right? And if you say, then why you will forget? You will never forget. IIT Kharagpur, this event was organized by them. Very good entrepreneurs, selected entrepreneurs. I was sitting here somewhere. My host invited my co-speaker. Listen to this very carefully. You will understand what is the step number 1 objective in this 4-step system. Host invited my co-speaker. My co-speaker spent 30 years in one sector in India, well-known person. Started his entrepreneurship journey after spending 30 years. Within a few years, reached 100 crore valuation. Good first milestone to achieve in any business. But just because we have this balance, that doesn't mean that you can become good in public speaking. Just because we have this balance, that doesn't mean that it's good in singing, by the way. I was sitting in the audience, waiting for my number. And I could observe, as a student of communication, the way this gentleman was moving towards the stage. And because I research body language, I could say, no, he's not confident. He's a little uncomfortable. And imagine, this is a stage. And he took one side of the stage. Listen very carefully, not even the middle, one side of the stage. And host is still reading his biodata. And he had one bottle in his hand, not this big bottle, if I have to show you. Can you see this small Bisleri bottle or mineral water bottle on the table? Small bottle. And I don't know why. He was opening the bottle, closing the bottle. Opening the bottle, closing the bottle. And I'm very sure at that point of time, if I'd asked him, hey, why are you doing this? He would have said, Praveen, I'm not doing what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. It's just like sometimes I ask people, my students say, why are you moving on the stage backward, forward? And they say, where you are moving? And I say, see your video again. And they say, yeah, they are moving. In step number 3, we will understand all this. But we do something like this subconsciously whenever we are on the stage. But he was not at all looking confident on the stage. He was looking very nervous. My question to you is this, which will reveal the objective of step number 1. My question to you is this. Tell me, in case if you are sitting in the audience, and let me open the chat for this question. Listen to this question very carefully. Let me stop this share. Imagine you are sitting in the audience, and there's one person who is coming in front of you. You are expecting that person will be very confident, leader. but that person is not looking confident on the stage. Will you like that person or not like that person? If you say like, type L. If you say no, type no. L or N. L or N. Like, type L. No. Then type no. N. L or N. L, just use the chat box. L or N. You can say, maximum people are saying no problem. No. No. So few people are saying L. Sometimes when I take a poll on this question, around 90% people, they say, of course, Praveen. Of course. What kind of question you are asking? Of course. You will not like that person. And around 10% people, they say, yeah, you like. Listen to this very carefully, because you have already given the answer. You might have not realized this, but you have already given the answer. But if you're among those people who believe that, okay, I will like, understand one thing. If you're not looking confident on the stage, almost 90% people are not going to like you when you're on the stage. They're not going to like you. You can see number of people who are saying, Praveen, come on, we don't like those kind of persons. And whether you have said N or L, I must tell you this. You have answered what is the objective of step number 1, which is very well explained by Mark Bowden. He says that it takes only 14 to 15 seconds for the audience to decide whether they like you or they don't like you. In the chat, when you have said N or L, I even didn't tell you that this gentleman has spoken on what subject. I didn't tell you anything. I just explained, I've given you an outline of that person, what he was doing on the stage, and based upon that rough outline, you have decided whether you like that person or not like that person. Ladies and gentlemen, the step number 1, which is very well explained in this TEDx talk by Mark Bowden, who is a champion in or expert in subconscious body language. And he says, this 14 to 15 seconds is most of the time even before we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, the step number 1 in 4-step system, we have to understand that what we should do even before we speak. So when you do that, people look towards you like this. They like you. Can you see the likability in our eyes? Can you see the smile? Yes. Possible. Techniques available. But understand, the step number 1 is, can we do something even before you open our presentation, before you open our mouth? Sometimes people ask me, Praveen, how important this step is in your 4-step system? And I said, this is important. It's like you asking the swimming coach, coach, how important to keep my hands like this when I jump into the water? And your coach will say, if you jump with keeping your hands like this, your entry into water will be small. If you understand before you speak techniques, your entry to presentation will be small. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-step system is a modern way of speaking in front of people. It's a skill. There are systems and techniques. It's not theory. This system is not divinely revealed to me. No. Based upon my last few years of experience, I could be able to organize this learning in a proper system. So what is the technique? The technique is called pause and pan. Several techniques. One technique which I have learned from people like Dhananjay Hetaraji, Mohammed Khatani, Darren Day. These are world champions of public speaking. These are big people, modern speakers. And they use this technique called pause and pan. Let me demonstrate this technique. Just take a mental note. These are 2 simple words. I can stop sharing. And you can see me. Let me explain. Let me demonstrate pause and pan. Why? Because if you learn this technique, even before you speak, people will like you. first thing, understand, ladies and gentlemen, if this is a stage, imagine, understand one very simple thing. In my previous example, I have told you that speaker was standing here, the speaker has not taken even the middle of the stage. You know what is speaking? Have you ever noticed the word speaking? The word speaking has K-I-N-G. Let me show this to you. The word speaking has K-I-N-G. King. What do you mean by that? It means that every time when you are standing on the stage, you have to behave like a king. You have to behave like a queen. And have you ever seen a king and queen standing here or sitting here on top or here, middle of the stage? But what do you mean by behaving like king and queen? It doesn't mean that you have to speak rude. No. It means you have to speak with a respect and authority. Yes. You see, unfortunately, you will not get chance every time. You don't get chance every day to go on the stage. No, unless until you are in training or you are in teaching. That's the sad part of public speaking, by the way. The only way to improve any skill is to practice. And the sad part of public speaking is we only get chance to speak in front of people. Of course, we can generate those chances. We'll talk about more afterwards on this. But whenever you get a chance, you have to speak like the king and queen. Ladies and gentlemen, the first very important thing in speaking, take the middle of the stage. Small thing, but many people they do this mistake. Take the middle of the stage and then use the technique called pause and pan. When you have taken the stage, don't be in a hurry to speak. What do you mean by that? Many times I've observed people, they just, as soon as they reach the stage, they start. No. You're actually showing that you are not confident. Let me start the light 2 minutes. You're actually showing that you are not at all confident. If you are just starting, don't do that. Don't do that. Take a pause. Pause and bang. Listen to this very carefully. Take a pause. Don't be in a hurry to start. 4 to 5 second pause is very, very effective at the start of the presentation only. See, understand pauses are very powerful. There are techniques of using small pause, big pause, large pause, micro pause. There are different techniques, but even at the start of your presentation, you can use pause very effectively. Take 4 to 5 second pause, but what to do in that 4 to 5 second pause? You have to do these two things. And if you do these two things, they will like you even before you speak. Number one, smile. No. Even if you're dying from inside, that's all okay. But smile. Smile is a certificate of confidence. We will understand about fear of public speaking and all in step number 3. We'll understand that. But when you smile, you're actually telling the audience, I am confident. And number 1. Number 2, pan the technique. When I learned this from this world champion of public speaking, I said, wow, this is very effective. What is panning the technique? Let me demonstrate. Imagine, I'm sitting in my conference room. Out of curiosity, you're thinking from where you have logged in. I'm sitting in my office in Mumbai, and I'm sitting in one small conference room where I can accommodate around 30-35 people. And if tomorrow if I stand and speak, I will take the middle of the stage. And panning is this. I divide the audience in 3 parts. Maybe right, left, and center. And from each section, from each part, I will choose only one person. Listen to this very carefully. Only one person. And I will give the clean eye contact to that person. It looks so weird when you practice this as a speaker, but it looks so confident and class when you are sitting in the audience and observing speaker doing that. That's 2 different perspectives. Let me demonstrate. let me show this to you. This is how it will look. I come on the stage. I'm not at all in a hurry to speak. I take the middle of the stage. I take a pause. Maybe you are sitting in the audience. And I look towards you. 1, 2, 3. When you practice that, you will be slightly uncomfortable. Hey, what they are thinking about me? What are they? Why are they feeling that? Why is doing like this? No, don't think about this. All the techniques, each and every step is highly documented, proven, tested. But practice this. Pause and back. Let me repeat. You come on the stage. Take the middle of the stage. You are the king on the stage, queen on the stage, middle of the stage. Don't be in a hurry to speak. Take a pause. Smile on the face. 1, 2, 3. There's no rocket science in this. You know what? Audience will say, yeah, wait a minute. He's calm. He's composed. He's relaxed. He's looking towards us. It means he's confident. He's smiling. It means he's confident. And when you're calm, composed, relaxed, confident, smiling, people like you. There's no rocket science. People like you. But that's a form and balance technique, ladies and gentlemen. There's a proper technique which you have to learn. We have to practice. There's several other techniques like this, but the major point I'm making that if speaking is a skill, there is a system, and if it is a system, it's objective. The objective of step number 1 is, can I do something? So people like us even before I speak. Why? Because as per science, they will like me or they will dislike me within 14 to 15 seconds, even before I open my mouth. And one technique is pause and back. Pause and back. Now, one thing which is dragging my attention, and let me ask that question to you. And that question is this. We have spent exact 45 minutes. Tell me, are you learning in this webinar? If yes, let me ask. If no, are you learning? I'm just giving you 10 seconds to save time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm ending the poll just to save time. I'm happy to share with you 19% people are saying yes, Praveen, we are learning. And 2% people are saying no, Praveen, we are not learning, by the way. But 2% is quite a good number here because we have thousands of people. But within my capacity, especially those who said yes, I'm very happy, thankful. And those who said no, within my capacity, I will try my best that in the next 45 minutes, we learn something significant. Step number 2, very important, how to start. Step number 1, what we should do before we speak. Step number 2, how to start. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I see lots of people doing mistakes, and I'm very carefully using this word mistake, by the way. See, no matter where you are in your life, you cannot go on the stage and start directly with the content. It's not possible. You cannot start directly with the content. You have to use certain techniques of starting your presentation. No matter whether it's technical, non-technical, you have to know certain techniques of starting your presentation. And if this is the step number 1, there has to be objectives of step number 2. If this is the step number 2, there has to be some objectives of step number 2. What are the objectives of step number 2? Like we have the objective in step number 1. What is the objective in step number 2? For that, let me ask this very important question to you. Very important question. Let me explain this to you first. Let me help you to visualize. Then I will throw the question on the screen. Tell me, has this happened with you? That you are sitting in the audience and speaker is speaking in front of you. Maybe your boss, maybe your team leader, maybe also coach, trainer, whoever. And you are looking towards the speaker but not actively listening. Is this common? My question to you is this. Is this common that you look toward the speaker but you are not actively listening to that speaker? And don't be that person who has the answer but not sharing the perspective. I'm closing the poll in just next 5 seconds. 16, 17, 19, 20. Here is the result. Around 89% people said, yes, Praveen, it's very common. Around 90% people. And around 10 to 11% people said, no, Praveen, it's not common. Understand this. 10% people who believe that if you are a good listener, other people will be a good listener. Understand this simple point that if you are among those 10% people, that when you are going on the stage, that 90% people sitting in the audience, they might be looking towards you, not necessarily they are listening to you, number one. And 90% people who said, yes, Praveen, it's very common. My question to you is this. What is the guarantee? What is the guarantee when you are speaking on the stage? People are listening to you. If this is so common. If this is so common. So what is the objective of step number 2? First objective. How to drag the attention. You are living a day. Oh, I didn't say that. You only said that 90% people who are looking towards you, they are not listening to you. Or when you look towards an audience, they are not listening to you. First thing is dragging the attention. Okay, let me prove this point. Let me prove this point that how important this 90% people, how correct they are. Have you ever heard start like this? Have you ever heard start like this? Let me share this with you. Have you heard start like this? This will help you to understand. This will help you to understand. And to prove this point that 90% people who are sitting in front of you, they are just looking towards you, they are not listening to you. Tell me. Start like this. Someone coming on the stage and saying something like this. Good morning. Nothing wrong in that. Wishing people, what is wrong in wishing people? Wrong is there. I said good morning. What happened? No breakfast? I said good morning. And at this attempt, at the last attempt, maximum people reply with good morning. Have you ever thought, listen, have you ever thought that why people do not reply to your good morning at the first attempt? Why? And I answer to that why you have given. 90% people are just looking towards you, not necessarily. They are listening to you. This is the proof. The number one thing which I want you to stop doing is, we will learn the modern techniques, but first understand the importance of how to start. Unless and until you don't have a proper how to start technique, you cannot price the audience or your content, number one. Number two, first objective is drag the attention. Second objective is, what is speaking? What is speaking? Speaking is all about taking the audience from A to B. What do you mean by that? At the start of this webinar only, I told you, hey, listen, this webinar are for those people who want to speak and grow in their life. It's just not about learning public speaking and body language and learning this as a hobby. No. If you want to grow in your life, you have to separate yourself from the crowd, stand alone and speak. But that's a skill. We learn the system. And after the system, then I will tell you that how we can extend this relationship. But first, learn the system. At the start only, you have to tell the audience where you want to take that audience from A to B. This B has to be slightly elevated. Sometimes this elevation is education, information, inspiration, motivation, slightly elevated. If your audience is at the same place, even after you started and post you completed, then what's the logic of speaking? This highly loaded objectives of how to start. But we just start like this. When we prepare for the content, for presentation, we don't even care how we are going to start. Let's learn the technique. Let's learn the technique. One thing which I want to unlearn is this. Don't start like good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't do that. Before I tell you, I'll share with you a modern technique of starting presentation. It's the proper way of starting presentation. Then we'll go deep in that. We'll understand that. Let me tell you one more way we start our presentation. I want you to reconsider that start. That start is this. Imagine there's a digital marketing conference going on. Imagine this, just for our understanding. and you are the host in that digital marketing conference, and you invite me as a speaker, and I start my first line is this: Good morning. My name is Praveen Vadalkar, and I'm going to speak on digital marketing. Tell me, let me open the chat and let me ask this question to you. Is this kind of start is common if just type C in the chat box? My name is ABC, and I'm going to speak on XYZ. I have been watching this kind of starts very common. If yes, just type C in the chat box. Yes, Praveen. Common? Super common. Super common. Why we should not start like this? Before I tell you the modern techniques of starting presentation, let me tell you very quickly why we should not start like this. When you say this, my name is Praveen Vadalkar and I'm going to speak on digital marketing, at subconscious level, audience will say this: yeah, Mr. Praveen, we know you're sending us an email saying that Mr. Praveen is going to speak on digital marketing. When we received email from organizers, when we entered into this conference room, we saw your name. Mr. Praveen is going to speak on digital marketing. Wait a minute, there is an agenda in my hand. This is a digital marketing conference, and we could see your name there, Mr. Praveen Vadalkar, going to speak on digital marketing. Wait, Mr. Praveen. Host, I think you have missed Mr. Praveen, but host has just said, let's welcome Mr. Praveen Vadalkar. He's going to speak on digital marketing. And Mr. Praveen, we must tell you this also. If you just slightly turn back, there's a slide behind you where you yourself have written, Mr. Praveen going to speak. Digital marketing, Praveen Vadalkar. How can you grab the attention of the audience by telling something which they know? It's just like you're working in one big company for years and you go on the stage and you say, my name is this. How can you grab the attention of the audience by telling something which they know? It's not possible. By the way, are you laughing at me? If you're laughing at me, I don't mind you spending me smileys. Please send smileys, no problem. Send smileys. Laugh at me. Laugh at me, please do that. But I don't want you to go on the stage and starting your presentation like this. And what are the techniques? What are the techniques? Several. Let me share. One technique is called I remember. What do you mean by that? One of my favorite techniques. See, when you learn certain skills and certain techniques, you learn a few better than others. It's like you have found a particular technique in how to start. I fall in love with this technique. There are several other techniques. Not necessarily you will fall in love, but I fall in love with this technique. It's called I remember. What do you mean by that? I remember is a modern way of saying once upon a time. I remember is a modern way of saying, hey, something happened in my life. I want to share that with you. Can I use that to build my start? Let me demonstrate. I remember. Imagine the same digital marketing conference. Say, visualize this. If you visualize, you can see me standing on the stage and demonstrating this technique, because after that, then I will help you to visualize. Imagine you standing on the stage and using the same technique. Imagine that there's a digital marketing conference and you invite me. I'm sitting in the audience. I know there's something called before we speak. I move on the stage with a little energy. I know I have to like a king on the stage. I take the middle of the stage, not side of the stage. I use the technique called pause and pan. I'm not in a hurry to speak. I take a pause. I pan the audience. 1, 2, 3. And my first word is this. I remember few years ago we were struggling in our business. But then we decided to adopt digital marketing strategies, and within 3 years, we have grown by 200%. Ladies and gentlemen, today, in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to share with you my 5 best digital marketing tips, which will help you to take your business to the next level. Good morning. My name is Praveen Vadalkar. Now, If you have liked the modern one, let me ask this to you. If you have liked the modern technique, just type M in the chat box, M for modern. Or if you still like T, the traditional one, good morning. I said good morning. I said good morning. Then write T. But if you have written M, it's my responsibility to ensure that tomorrow you should be able to implement that if you are standing in front of people. Imagine you are a sales manager and you say this. I remember last month I visited my clients and I learned something very important, and you're standing in front of your sales team. And as you say, if I share those learning with you, it will help you to achieve your target. There is no difference between that start and this start, ladies and gentlemen. Same. Let me disintegrate. As I told you, there are two objectives of starting presentation. One, grab attention. Psychologically, there are certain words, certain phrases which you can use to grab the attention. One is I remember. If I have to give you one more example, imagine. If you use something like this, your chances of grabbing the attention is very high. I remember because we always like to know what is happening in the other's life. It's a very positive connotation I'm saying this. And can you see this? In 1.5 lines, I told you that, hey, where I'm going to take you in next maybe 45 minutes. I'm going to share 5 tips which will help you to grow in your life in digital marketing. In just 3.5 lines, ladies and gentlemen, I've achieved both the objectives. That is, driving the attention at the same time is very important. Telling the audience at the start only where you are going to take. Even if you are standing in front of people in your day one in office and giving introduction, you can still use the technique. And the last day in your office, giving your bye-bye talk, you can still use this technique. This is not the only technique of starting presentation, but all other techniques will achieve both the objectives. Yes, objectives we have to achieve. This is modern speaking, going on the stage and speaking effectively in front of people. Step number 3, ladies and gentlemen, the heart of my 4-step system. Nothing more important than step number 3. Why we go on the stage? Only for one reason. We go on the stage to deliver the content. We are not here. Nothing thanks to thank. By the way, thanks for the compliment, Shekhar Ghosh. We are not here to perform. You don't go on the stage to do acting. You go on the stage because you have certain content to deliver. Tell me, just out of curiosity, let me ask this question to you. What kind of content you have in your life? Are you sharing a content like presentation or corporate, or you are an entrepreneur? Are you sharing the content as an entrepreneur, or you are sharing content as teacher, doctor, lawyer, CEO, or others like students, or maybe something else? Or trainer is there as a doctor, lawyer, CEO. Trainer is of course entrepreneurship. And I'm ending the poll now. Even you should know with whom you're sharing this platform. 30% corporate, 9% entrepreneur, 23% people, doctors, lawyers, CAs. We have many in our Speak and Grow family, and 39% people others. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you have clicked. Doesn't matter where you have clicked. You have to understand one very simple thing. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Very simple thing. Please understand this simple thing. If you understand this, your perspective towards public speaking will change. In this same live webinar, when we took a poll, or sometimes many times when I take a poll, that when you are sitting in the audience, and you are looking towards the speaker, whether you actively listen or not, around 90% people said, no, Praveen, we don't actively listen. And you are saying that you go on the stage to deliver the content. If 90% people are not listening to you. They're just behaving as they are just looking towards you. Or maybe they are listening to you in patches. It's very important for us to understand that how to deliver our content in such a way that maximum people listen to us. Listen to us. And for that, you have to understand the science behind it. The science was revealed to the world by this legend, Albert Meridian. As I told you, the four-step system is not here. It is not divinely revealed to someone. It's a mixture of practical experience, science, mixture of my learning from world champions of public speaking, and I appearing going on TED stage for 9 times, or going and speaking in front of IIT and IIM, and sometimes even in front of students. This particular aspect of four-step system, which is the heart of my four-step system, that how to ensure that whenever we speak in front of people, people listen to us, Bob? How to ensure that? What will decide whether people will listen to us or not? What decides the effectiveness of our communication? And Albert Meridian, 45 years ago, we did this trial. He is a legend in public speaking. Still, even after 45 years, experts say that this is the benchmark in public speaking, this trial. He said 3 things decide: content, body language, and vocal variety. What do you mean by that? 3 things decide. Your content will decide whether your people are listening to you or not. Your body language will decide whether people are listening to you or not, and your vocal variety will decide. Now, your understanding of body language and vocal variety, I will not tell right now, but I will definitely discuss. But based upon your current understanding, I have a question for you. In this study, they are given percentage to each. What percentage content is important, what percentage body language, and what percentage vocal variety. Let me open the chat and let me ask this question to you. Tell me, if tomorrow, if you're standing on the stage, according to your current acumen, current understanding of body language and vocal variety, I don't see any scope of confusion in content, but the definition of body language and vocal variety varies from person to person. But based upon your current understanding, tell me, what percentage content is important, what percentage body language, and what percentage vocal variety? Don't be that person who has the answer in the mind but not sharing in the chat. Because if you're sharing, make sure keep your eye on what others are sharing. And you will notice that there are some people who are saying content is just 10, and some people are saying content is 90. Some people are saying body language is around 50, and some people are saying no, body language is 80. Some people are saying vocal variety is 50, and some people are saying no, probably vocal variety is 10. Can you see the variation? Can you see it's like flowing like a river? You can see the variation. It's not at all looking same. My question to you is, if think this is fundamental of public speaking, have you seen a variation like this in the fundamentals in other skills? Variation like this in Sarigama? Variation like this in singing or dancing? No. The only reason why we have this variation, which is the unfortunate part of public speaking, unfortunate. I'm very carefully using this word unfortunate, which is this. We don't learn public speaking in a very organized way. We don't learn studies. We don't learn the research done by people on this skill. We believe that if you can talk, I can speak in front of people. No. Let me stop the chat and let me share the results with you, ladies and gentlemen. The first time when I saw the result, I said, I don't trust. It's something wrong with this result. Many of you might say that. Praveen, really? Content only 7%? Body language and vocal variety 55 and 38? It means 93% is decided by your non-verbal communication. And the answer to that question is yes. But understand one thing. Even if you have the world's best body language and vocal variety, but if your content is not relevant for the audience, no meaning. Content is the king understand this. Many people, they misunderstand this. Content is a king. I run 3 organizations, by the way. I have 3 companies. One is the IT company. Imagine I start sharing about that company with you. You will say, Praveen, keep that company aside, Praveen. We are here for public speaking. Tell us about that. Content is the king. But if your body language and vocal variety is not natural, and I'm very carefully using this word natural, if you have not learned otherwise, if you have not learned how to use your body language and vocal variety, speaking naturally is the most advanced way of speaking. Sometimes people say, why I should learn public speaking? I want to go on the stage and speak natural. That is the most advanced way. You learn that. Why? But if you have not learned body language and vocal variety, you do injustice with your content. I repeat, you do injustice with your content. I will prove that in this webinar with some examples. But even if you have the world's best content, world's best presentation, world's best PPT, if your body language and vocal variety is not supporting, if it is not natural, if you have not learned that, it will drag the attention of the audience from your content. Ladies and gentlemen, you are good in content, but body language and vocal variety are so powerful. If they are not good, it will drag the attention of the audience from your content. Let me show that. Let me give an example. Imagine you are standing on the stage. It's very easy to understand that you don't have to learn. Audience, they don't have to learn how to see whether people are confident or not confident. If someone is like this, the only reason why they are doing this is because they are in fear. Why? Because they are trying to do something which they have not learned. They are in front of public. And as we have learned at the start only, whenever we are in front of public, we want to show our best image. And you are trying to speak, you have not learned. How can you show your best image? You go in fear and panic. And when you are in fear and panic, your mind will give message, hey, you are in fear and panic. Protect your vital organ. This gentleman is protecting the vital organ. That's it. But audience doesn't have to do PhD to understand that. But audience at subconscious level, if you remember, at the start only, I told you, audience take their decision at subconscious level. At subconscious level, audience is feeling, hey, he's not looking confident. He's closing his body. And not me, you only said.